a certified job quitter. Like, I will hop from job to job to job to job. And someone may say, oh, that's weird. Like, I hate people that do that. No, I'm too young to be miserable. I will quit a job if the manager talks to me sideways. I will quit a job if an employee talks to me sideways. Y'all, I was working a server job one time, and this girl accused me of giving a table a chicken tender, like stealing her chicken tenders. I quit. Because you're not about to sit up here and accuse me of giving someone chicken tenders. No, I quit. Especially server jobs. I quit those so much.
I quit my job today. It sucks because I probably should be working right now, especially what I'm going through. I have to buy a lot of stuff. But I quit because the energy wasn't right. I felt like it was deteriorating my spirit. I felt like my higher ups were feeding off my energetic field. This is not uncommon. It just gets to a point, you know. I'm a bit ashamed because I feel like as a man, I should be able to keep a job for a little longer.
I just quit my job. And it don't really feel real, but I don't regret my decision to quit my job. I don't know who need to hear this, but if you been feeling like you need to let go of that job, baby, let go. I started to become physically sick of my job. And one thing about me, I will give up. I will quit a fucking job. I will quit anything. It don't matter. I don't like putting up with nothing.
Work should not make you cry. Work should not make you cry. If you're crying at work, you need to get a different job. You should not be crying at all at work, let alone every single day. That's the only lesson I've learned from this. Work should not make you cry.
In case you've been living under a rock, things are pretty tough in the economy right now. And people are saying that we're already in a recession. I don't know if that's true or not, but if we're not already in a recession, a lot of people are predicting a recession. Many news outlets, many people online, many news articles, you name it. So with that being said, if this is the tough time that we're in, why are there some people quitting their jobs during a so-called recession?
I quit my job. My last day was Friday and I don't have work on Monday. I think my body is like conditioned to feel like I need this schedule. I need to be working. I hate that I'm just so stressed out about it right now because it was my choice. I chose to quit because I wanted time off and to figure out exactly what I want to do in my career and my life. That makes me feel fulfilled and that makes me feel like I have a purpose. But all weekend I was looking for jobs on LinkedIn, like applying to jobs when I really don't want to work at these companies. I don't even know if I want the same role that I just had. So I'm feeling a lot of like survival mode right now, and I hope that in this time off coming up in my sabbatical that I'm gonna be refreshed and really let that go down the drain. The idea that I need to have a specific job and be tied to companies in order to have self-worth and to make money when there are so many different ways to be able to make money and live the life that I really want.
Am I out of touch for thinking that there's a separation between your job and your passion and purpose? Am I out of touch with that? Do you agree or disagree with that? I don't know if I even agree or disagree with that, but in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, you know, in an ideal world, you do a job that you find passion in and you find purpose in, and you can combine the two and make money from it. That's ideal. But it seems like a lot of people, they don't do that. They have their 9-to-5 or they have their W-2 or they have their business or whatever it might be. And that's where they make money to feed their family, to pay their rent or their mortgage. And then outside of that, they have things they do for their passion and for their purpose. And those two things aren't necessarily intertwined. So when I hear people like this lady saying that she quit her job to go on sabbatical to find what she wants to do that gives her fulfillment and passion and purpose, while I understand that, part of me is like, I don't know if that's necessarily the best move, especially when you're young, or maybe when you're young it's probably better to do it, but I don't know. You tell me in the comment section what you think, if you think that what I'm saying you agree with it or disagree with it, and give me your perspective, because I'm curious about that. You know, during the time that we're in now, quitting your job's kind of risky to me. It seems risky anyways, because it may not be that easy to find another one, because it seems like companies just aren't really hiring right now. I don't know what she does. Maybe she's in a very in-demand field, could be the case, but if that's not the case, quitting, and I don't know if she had a backup plan either, or how much she has in savings or whatever, or she's been planning this for a while, but if this was kind of just done because she was just kind of tired, needed some time off, I mean, cool, but probably not the best time.
This is why I quit my 9-to-5 corporate job that gave me good benefits and a rent discount to become a full-time server. First of all, let me just put it this way. I was supposed to finish out my 2 weeks. I only finished out 1 week of those 2 weeks. On Thursday was my last day. I worked as a server Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Within those 4 days, I was able to pay off any late bill that I had due within that past month from that job and not being able to afford it. I was able to pay off the next month's worth of bills and also pay off my credit cards completely. So, starting off strong, the money. If you are a good server and you know what you're doing and you're in the right restaurant, you can make bank. Now, I'm not saying that to stay a waitress or become a waitress for the rest of your life. No, but I am saying that there are nights where I come home making $70, $80 an hour. On bad nights, I'm making $25, $30 an hour. If my car note is due tomorrow, we're going to go pick up a double. Another thing, if I don't want to work, I don't have to. I'm going to drop the shift and someone will pick it up. 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., I still have my full day. I have my full day. I can do whatever I want. I get off when people are going on their lunch break. Like,
you know what? This is actually something I've never thought about before, but, and you know, I know people that are servers, and I know someone who, he's in the restaurant industry and he manages servers all the time. And he tells me, he's told me before, they make good money, especially depending on the restaurant you work at. And if you're a seasoned server and you really know what you're doing, you can make a lot of money. You can make 6 figures a year, believe it or not. And this is something that shocked me because I always assumed that servers didn't make that much money. But what she's saying is she was working a corporate job and she wasn't making enough to pay off her bills and expenses. She quit and within 4 days was able to pay off everything that she was past due on and get ahead based upon what she was making as a server. That's resourcefulness, and I applaud that. So she quit her job, and it seems like she has something backed up to go into. So yeah, sure, right now it's tough times. The economy is kind of in a weird place. What I will say is this: if we do go into a deeper recession, one of the first places to be impacted is discretionary spending. And eating out at restaurants is discretionary spending. So that's something she should keep in mind. If we do go into a really deep recession, then, you know, she might be hurting working as a server. So I will say that. But, you know, if it was just regular times and she wasn't making enough for her corporate job and she decided to become a server, cool. You know, while she's working to do whatever else she wants to accomplish, that's cool because obviously she's making good money. But
in these 2 weeks that I went back to serving full time, now, yes, on my body, it's a little exhausting. But yes, that is why I quit my full-time corporate job to go back to waitressing. If you're thinking about doing the same and it's heavy on your heart, do it. Who cares? Who cares what people think when you say you're a full-time waitress? They don't see the days where you're coming in from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. and you're walking out with $700, $800 in your pocket. Who cares what they have to say?
Good point there. She ended it off with what a lot of people might be thinking, which is the outside judgment from people who will look at you and go, oh, you're just a server. Oh, you're just a server, which, I mean, forget those people anyways. But I mean, she makes a good point. She might walk out with more money than people who are in their white collar position are making.
Let's normalize quitting jobs. Like, I just quit a job yesterday because I felt like the pay and the work was not adding up. And then it made me think I'm a certified job quitter. Like, I will hop from job to job to job to job. And someone may say, oh, that's weird. Like, I hate people that do that. No, I am too young to be miserable. I am too young to be miserable. I will quit a job if the manager talks to me sideways. I will quit a job if an employee talks to me sideways. Y'all, I was working a server job one time and this girl accused me of giving a table a chicken tender, like stealing her chicken tenders. I quit. Because you're not about to sit up here and accuse me of giving someone chicken tenders. No, I quit. Especially server jobs. I quit those so much. I just quit a job that had me walking in the rain and walking in the cold. The pay was okay, but I quit. I quit a job once, y'all, because I had a nail appointment and I just quit. And I was like, I'm not missing my nail appointment. I quit a job once because they had me there till 1 a.m. I quit. Like, I just think these jobs don't care about your well-being at all. And I think it's so, like, looked down to just keep quitting. No, quit. You can find another job. Do not be miserable. Do not be miserable in any of these jobs. That's just my rant.
Okay, so I don't know if she was joking or not, but I will say first and foremost, this is an absolutely bad look. She should never post this online. She should take it down immediately. And it's too late because people like me have already covered it. So that's not good for her. But to talk like this is just unacceptable. It's very immature. Again, I don't know if she's joking and doing this just for show, for online purposes, or if she really feels this way. Part of me feels like it's somewhere in the middle. Not a good look, guys. Don't come on here talking about why you're quitting your job for small reasons. You have to have some type of grit. You have to have discipline. You have to have some stick it out in this in you to push past things, especially petty stuff and silly stuff like quitting to go do your nails. You don't miss a nail appointment. Absolutely ridiculous, especially in an economy like we're in now. Totally unadvisable, ill-advised, and silly. And you know, I don't want to keep on crapping on her, but again, I don't know how much of this is a joke or not. If it's a joke, hey, my apologies. But if this is real life and she's being serious about this, don't do this. Now, again, as millennials, I don't know, she looks kind of young. She's millennial, Gen Z. We have a reputation for not staying in careers for very long, but I think that's just kind of the way the world is now, or at least in the West, or at least in the US, especially in a lot of positions. You know, the day of sticking in with one employer for 30, 40 years and retiring with, you know, a pension pension and a silver spoon or a gold medal or whatever you get, those days seem to be kind of over. So, you know, it's okay to leave a job, but you want to leave on good terms. You want to make sure that you stay there for a decent amount of time, give the company good value, they give you good value back. But to do what she's talking about and just hop for the smallest of reasons is totally ridiculous, especially when we're going through at least what seems to be a recession or one coming up very soon.
I finally quit my Big Four accounting job, so let's talk about it. It feels so surreal being able to say that. Like, I literally never thought that that day would come. It was a very hard decision, I'm not gonna lie, and it was something that I lost sleep over for weeks, if not months. But I honestly think it was the best decision for me and my health, and I have seriously never felt so free. So let's get into exactly why I quit. First of all, I just want to say that I literally wouldn't change anything about my experience. I built my entire career in public accounting, and I wouldn't change it any other way. Public accounting creates such a great foundation, and I've genuinely learned so much and met so many amazing people. But that work style and the culture is just not for me. I was working 16 to 20 hour days. I was barely sleeping. I was eating horribly and just not taking care of myself. I was so stressed all the time, and work was the only thing that I could think about 24/7. Like, I genuinely could not take a break. I created a pretty decent work-life balance for myself, but it was still nowhere near where I wanted it to be and nowhere near what it should be. I just felt like I never really had time to relax, and even on my days off, I'd be so stressed and I'd be so worried about work that I couldn't even enjoy myself. But my last busy season is what really destroyed me. Like I said before, I was working 16 to 20 hour days. I was so stressed all the time. My heart rate was so high. And then the cherry on top was that I got really sick with the flu a few weeks into busy season. So I was just absolutely miserable. I was going into the office 6 days a week while I had the flu. I was coughing, I had a runny nose, I had a fever, I had headaches. It was literally hell. And really all I needed to get better was rest, and I just couldn't get that because I was working. One day I was just so fed up with it that I went to urgent care at 6 p.m. on a Saturday because that's when I got off work. And I was honestly just looking for some kind of medicine to help me just feel better while I was working. But I ended up coming out of that appointment with some of the scariest news because my blood pressure was so high. I had such bad hypertension that the doctor said that she was really scared I was going to have a heart attack and that I would probably have to go to the ER. And that's exactly when I realized for myself that the stress about work was just not worth it, and I needed to leave as soon as busy season was over. So all that to say is I quit because it was really affecting my mental and my physical health, and it just wasn't worth it to me to have...
Okay, so we get it, guys. This is pretty much what's going on. She made what appears to be a great decision. Now, you know, essentially this boils down to you gotta do what you gotta do, and health is wealth. Her health was suffering drastically because of her work hours, because of the pressure she was under from the work she was doing. If that's the case with you, then it might be time to find something else. And hopefully you have some savings put away. Hopefully you have skills you can take somewhere else. Maybe she can take accounting skills anywhere. She can go work for a public institution. She can go work somewhere with much lower stress if she wants to stay in that field as opposed to a Big Four. So she can have that work-life balance a bit and not be stressed as much and not be on the verge of having a heart attack, you know, at however old she is, which doesn't seem to be very old. So in this economy that we're in this type of environment that we're in, it's not advisable most likely to quit your job, especially if you have nothing lined up. But in a situation like this, I mean, it's much different because if you don't have your health, you have nothing. So, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. So there are reasons to quit, but I would say that if you have to, try to plan ahead of time, try to get an exit strategy before you quit, try to find a job that's lined up that you can get into, make sure you stack money away, try to pay off as much debt as you can pay off, try to make sure that you can, if you need to move back home with your family, do that. If you need to get roommates, do that. If you need to, you know, move out of the high cost area that you're living in, do that. Although you might be moving away from certain job opportunities, I get that. Number one, health always comes first. And even in the bad economy that we're in now, you gotta do what's right for you. With that being said, guys, I really appreciate it if you stuck around this long. If you did stick around this long and you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like and to subscribe if you feel so too inclined, because I would greatly appreciate it and it helps with the YouTube algorithm. And with that being said, make smart financial decisions.